All right. Hello, everyone. Now, I was planning on going over leaders and legacies and all that stuff, but I feel that's too soon right now. I think other things we need to cover first are the various weapon types and what they're used for, and the plague hearts themselves. Not the zombies. I guess we could go over a little bit of the zombies in the plague heart section, but there's only like 4 special zombies you have to watch out for. I've already mentioned them all, but we'll go over them again just to make sure at that section. But this first one is going to be about the various weapons that you can get in the game. I'm not going to go over individual weapons. I'm not going to tell you what the best weapons are. I'm just going to give you an overview of the different weapon types: ranged, melee, heavy, and then the breakdown of melee into blades and blunt, and the breakdown of different ranged options that you have. So let's go down and go over the various weapons. So we have the melee weapons. We'll go over them first because I think this is going to, it's going to include heavy, close combat, bladed weapons, blunt weapons. The bladed weapons are dismembering, lethality, and speed over blunt. That means you dismember the zombie easier. There are some bounties that require you to dismember zombies specifically. Sorry, I think I'm either going to burp or something. I'm not sure. Sorry, I just took a drink. And then lethality is how quickly the bladed weapon will kill the target. And then speed is swinging the weapon. There is skills. This is all related to, the melee weapons are all related to the fighting skill. The fighting skill is broke down into various things. You have the sword play, which focuses on bladed. If you're using bladed, you want the sword play skill, and then you have the blunt skill, which is the striking skill. So this is like a lot. This is all the bladed weapons in the game you can get, but they're basically the same except for difference in stats. And we'll also be going over skills later on. I don't want to do that in this video because it would be too much. So we'll probably do skills here pretty soon because we're about to in game be able to upgrade one of our skills, and I'll go over that here next most likely. So that is blades. And basically it's for dismembering and lethality. It's a type of weapon. You can choose either blade or blunt or heavy. Heavy's kind of needs just a little bit something extra. So, and then they have the blunt weapons, which goes impact, knockdown, and durability. Blunts of course have more durability than blades and last longer. Knockdown is your ability to just swing and knock down the zombie so it no longer hits you. When they're knocked down, you can do a quick finish on them. Blades are more of a just slice them to pieces so you don't knock them down to kill them like that. And then impact, that's also just kind of like knockdown, I guess you could say. And then the striking is your upgrade for if you're going mainly blunt weapons. And here are all of them, like bats, pokers, maces, tire irons, stuff like that. And then we have the heavy melee weapons, which is kind of different. They are very, very slow to swing and have an exorbitant stamina cost for each use, where you actually need to specialize. I would not do this without specializing in Powerhouse, which is of the cardio skill tree. If you have somebody, now this is a very big thing kind of early on in the game. The easiest way on lower difficulties and on higher difficulties, if you have the skill to kill a plague heart early to get some items, is with somebody with heavy melee weapons, especially perked into the Powerhouse. You don't have to have Powerhouse, but Powerhouse helps a lot. Now, like I said, we're going to be going over skills later, but Powerhouse is kind of, I feel, required for heavy melee weapons. So it's like beetle mallets, big old shovel, One of the best things early on, you can use anything really, but one of the best things is just a sledgehammer. Is one of the best things early on for heavy melee weapon. I would suggest always having at least one person with powerhouse to use heavy weapons if you wish to. Like I said, it's one of the easiest ways to use heavy melee weapons to kill plague hearts early, because basically you can charge up your swing and do a lot more damage when you have powerhouse. So if you wish to go that route, that is there, and these are the various heavy weapons. And then we have close combat. Now, close combat weapons is not a it's a specialization, I think, just like more than heavy weapons. Close combat is something you need to choose when you choose a fighting specialization. It makes it where you don't have a regular melee weapon. You just have either your screwdriver or your knife, and you attack a whole lot faster. And you can, as you can see, when you reach level 7 with that skill, you'll be able to instantly execute regular and screamer zombies standing in front of you. Only works if you don't have a melee weapon equipped or your melee weapon broke. So that is kind of a specialization thing. It's basically you always have a close combat weapon. You cannot not have one. Always have one. You can change what type it is, but it all does basically the same thing. There are no stats on it. It's just a close combat weapon that you use with this skill. I guess you could say you could use this as your deal. If you don't have the close combat fighting specialization, it's very, very awkward and slow. So if you want to go this route where you use like knives and things and just chop things up really close up, then and you want to do executions, then I would have to say you want the close combat fighting specialist option. I would personally, if I have somebody already with stealth, I would choose close combat because that just makes it a whole lot easier. This just depends on how you want the character really. And that is everything there on the melee weapons. And then we have ranged weapons. This is going to take a while because there are a lot of different ranged weapons. So we have sidearms and we have regulars. Sidearms are pistols, assault pistols, revolvers, and short-barreled shotgun. Pistols are just your regular pistols. You can attach a silencer or something to them if you wish to, a suppressor. And you just shoot the zombie, aim for the head, because hitting them anywhere else does not kill the zombie. You can knock them down hitting them somewhere else, but aiming at the head will instantly kill them if you hit. So that is those. There are also lever action weapons have been added to the game. Lever action pistol, it will never break or jam. That's another thing. Certain types of weapons don't. There are other like lever action things. Bolt rifles don't jam or break, but you can't attach a mod to it. You can't put like a choke or a suppressor or anything on them unless they come specifically with it from the bounty broker. Assault pistols are like SMGs, MAC-10s, as you can see, MP5Ks and stuff like that, Scorpions. They have burst or full auto, and they can also be equipped with muzzle mods except for chokes, which chokes are actually only shotguns now that I think about it. And then we have revolvers. Revolvers are powerful. They never break or jam, however have small magazines, and their reloading takes a while. They can be equipped with brakes, Clio accelerators, Clio tumblers, and vintage rifle compensators, but they're also a very special revolver you can get from the bounty broker that does have a silencer attached to it if you wish to go that route and have it as your main weapon. where it still has a silencer. It never breaks or jams. You're just going to have to deal with the reload speed, which there is a choice on the shooting skill tree specialization that will increase your reload time if you wish to go that route. That's a build you can do. And then we have the sidearm shotguns. Short-barreled, usually inaccurate, but deadly at close range, make them perfect sidearm when carrying a primary for longer ranges. Reloading them might be problematic because they're like double-barrel shotguns and things like that. And they can be quick. They can be equipped with chokes. They cannot be equipped with suppressors, and they are either pump action or lever action, so they can never break or jam. Don't use shotguns on higher difficulties. You're just gonna die. It's just a thing, unless on higher difficulties, silence is king. So anything that cannot be silenced whatsoever, you're just going to have to put it out of your mind on higher difficulty. It can be done, but you don't want to do it. And then we do have the RTX, Cyclone, and Tactical, which is assault shotguns. They are, I think they can only be equipped with chokes, and I think they're only available. I think you can randomly find them, but I also think they're only available from the bounty broker too. So then we have the primary weapons, which includes more shotguns. All shotguns use 12-gauge 12-gauge shells. They're either pump action or semi-auto. Some of them are also magazine fed, and they can only be equipped with chokes. There is one pump action. There is one shotgun that is primary that you can get. It is the Echo S3 shotgun, and it's not Heartland only. You can get it from a bounty broker. I'm sorry, it's not this one. It's this one here. And you get this from a bounty broker, and it has a silencer built into it. So if you wish to use a shotgun for your build, no matter what, but you need a silencer on it, you're gonna have to wait until you can get a shotgun from the bounty broker, and he will do it. It is in the Trumbull Valley pack. So when the Trumbull Valley pack is available to be opened up on the bounty broker, you can get that shotgun, and it has a silencer built into it if you wish to go shotguns. Then of course we have the assault shotguns, which has all of these things. They can only be equipped with chokes. They don't have one, if I'm remembering correctly, they don't have one of these that has a silencer on it. Then we have the assault weapons, are the SMGs, assault rifles, and burst rifle firing rifles. But they can be equipped everything except chokes. So these can have silencers on them, AK-47, AK-74s, all kinds of stuff. M4A1s, AR-15s, I think is up in here. Somewhere. I swore like there is an AR-15 because I have one in my stash right now. Got me. Whatever. Here it is. AR-15 is just a regular rifle. And these are, I think these are like, these have fire rates to close range encounters. While ARs are powerful medium range weapons. They usually have multiple fire modes. Maps have single shot and full auto, while some also count 3-round bursts. And that's the same for regular rifles down here. These are either semi-auto or bolt actions. So there's that. And then have the lever actions, of course. And then we have the AR-15s, the big Hank rifle, and the bolt scouts are like bolts. Those are one shot before you reload. So do be careful with those if you're going to use those. They are very, very much a sniper option, and that it can get you killed if you don't have something like an SMG or something as your pistol, because you will eventually run into a big old horde and you'll need more than one shot at a time. So just do be aware of that. So there. And then we have the anti-material rifles. These are the 50 caliber AP rounds, which you can get. There are only a few in here. I know a quest from somebody that talks about their brother was a police officer or their sister was a police officer. You follow their quest line and eventually you get a 50 caliber. Like I said, you could also run into that Mysterious Wandering Trader. They offer the 50 cals as an option. You don't ever use these things except for guarding your base. You can use them, but I wouldn't recommend it. But you can use these for guarding your base. You do not have to have any ammo, as I said before, on the people that are sitting there guarding your base. Just put this on there without any ammo, and they will use it to guard your base. It is noisy, so you will be seeing a lot more corpses around your base. But if like you get sieged and there's like a juggernaut, you're going to thank yourself that you have these, because these things can like 2-shot a juggernaut, or 3-shot a juggernaut, really. If they hit them in the head. If they keep on body shotting them, it'll take longer, but eventually they'll just burst down a juggernaut, no problem. Cannons are described as assault anti-material, which seems 50 but feature full auto mode. I've never seen this in the game. It's a B50FG. I've never run into one. Then we have the launchers. We do have a 40 millimeter grenade in our stash, but we don't have the grenade launcher for it. So if you want to use a grenade launcher, there are in the game. Then there's also the gas launchers, which you can use to gas launch a bloater cloud like gas grenades. This is the only weapon that does it. I think you have to get that from the Mysterious Wandering Trader. Napalm launchers are also 40 millimeter grenade launchers. I've never run into this one. This weapon can only be obtained through modding the game, so that's why I've never seen it. And then we have the ranged weapons included in the Independence pack, which includes the Pyro Launcher and the Star Shank Launcher. I'm going to have to go over the Pyro Launcher. If you go and watch Get Good Fox, he's in love with the Pyro Launcher. It's very, very powerful. The special quirk of the Pyro Launcher is once you fire it, you can't stop unless you either dodge out of it or I think crouch, because you will just run through your ammo. It will non-stop fire once you fire it once. So you either have to dodge or you have to crouch, I think, out of it to get it to stop firing. But if you can handle that, it is one of the most powerful fire weapons, ranged weapons in the game, because it sets fire to just about everything, and pretty much everything just dies to fire really quickly, except for juggernauts and armored zombies. But you can still use this against a juggernaut, and it will still take care of it eventually. Crossbows, of course, there are the silence weapons, and the Echo X3 repeating crossbow is a magazine fed, which means it's pretty much the best crossbow in the game. It also uses light bolts. So there you go there. And that is the range weapon. Now there are, like I said, there are craftable explosive devices, Molotovs, things of that nature, C4, all that stuff. But that's kind of specific stuff that you can just craft and use whenever you want. The melee weapons and the ranged weapons, you just have to find one to use it. The others you can pretty much just craft whenever you want to use. They're kind of just throwables. So there is that. And that is the different weapons that you can use in the game. And there are, like I said, there are various mods you can put on the weapons. Let's see if I can find. I may have to go. Here we go, Muzzle Mod. So there's breaks, jokes, suppressors, and then the unique ones for the other unique deals. There is the breaks, make your gun more durable, increase their power and range. They also make recoil more manageable and increase the chance of dismembering, knocking down, and betraying your targets. They used to increase the loudness of your weapon as well, but that's no longer the case of Update 16. But they still don't suppress any noise. So just know that you get this, but you can't equip a suppressor when this is on. Jokes increase your shotgun's power and range and increase their spread. So you can't equip this is the only thing you can equip to a shotgun, so you're probably going to have a choke unless you have that special shotgun, which has a silencer built into it, which means you can't put a choke on it. Then we have the suppressors, which reduce your weapon noise and kick. However, they also reduce their effective range and make them wear down faster. So suppressors do degrade your weapons faster, but especially on higher difficulties, you need a suppressor, otherwise you're just going to die when all the zombies around you swarm you, and they come from far away. So suppressors are just it. Unless you just want to fire blindly into the night with noise, I would get a suppressor. Of course, this is in the order of the best suppressor, so improvised is worse, one, then the handmade, then the professional, and then this advanced suppressor. And the advanced suppressor comes from just looting, finding things. Some weapons sometimes when you find them can have mods on them, and they can have an advanced suppressor on them, or you could just make professional suppressors if you have the skill to eventually. And then there's unique muzzle mods that only glow on like Clio weapons that you get from Daybreak. This is the bounty broker deal. This is compensating suppressor bounty broker thing. And then the network pro break is a unique professional break. It has identical statistics to average pro break, however it has a unique look to it. You can only get this muzzle mod by crafting the network DIY assault rifle or a masterwork assault rifle when the improvised weapon station facility mod that, if I remember correctly, comes from the Trumbull Valley pack, I think. Or I think that's where it comes from. It could be something you just find, but I think that comes from that bounty pack. So there is that. That is the weapons. Next, I think we're going to go over skills. We're going to go over skills, or the skills of your hero. I don't think, here we go. This one, the core skills. We're going to go over each one of these because we are actually at the point where we can choose a shooting skill on one of our people, and I want to cover this before we choose, and you'll know why I chose that. So we'll come back next time and we'll have the skills discussion. So I want to thank everybody for watching. We'll come back next time with more State of Decay 2. Leave a comment below, ask if you want more info, and stuff like that. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.